Alright. So we got... Very quiet for some reason. We got the Crew Motorfest in the background today. But that is not the topic of today's video. How's it going, everybody? It's your favorite skill issue, Golden Steven here. Before I forget, I want to figure out why the... It's probably because my audio settings. That's why I turned my... There we go. Okay. Now we're ready to get back into it. Whee! Okay, they're talking to me. But today is not... Yeah, we're playing the Crew Motorfest, but that's because I just needed something to kind of throw on in the background for today's topical video. Okay, these trees can be wrecked. My car is going everywhere. Let's swap to a different vehicle. What do we got? What do we got? I just realized we're gonna get absolutely nowhere. Actually, you know what? Let's grab the TT. Realize we're gonna get nowhere with this video because I'm just gonna be distracted by the game, which I apologize for. But no, today I wanted to talk a little more about something that was kind of brought to my attention. Someone brought up to me, and they're like, you know, where do I stand on this? And it was the difference between game collecting and being a game collector. And they're like, you know, because I always say I'm into game collecting. They're like, oh, so you're a game collector? I'm like, no, I'm just into collecting video games. So like, well, what's the difference? And it took me a little bit to kind of be like, you know, at first I was like, well, what would count as the difference? What really would be the difference? But as I kind of sit here and I kind of thought about it and was thinking about it, I have an idea, I have an answer to it. A game collector is someone who wants to collect all the video games. And what I mean by that is, like, you know, for example, like we'll take like the Nintendo 64 for example. There's 364, I'll have the correct number on screen, 364 games for that library on the, you know, physical media. That is including actual physical releases, not any like ROM hack things like I have. I have a few on cartridge. But like if you're a game collector, you want to collect every single one of those games. You want to collect all 361 or all 364 or whatever Nintendo 64 games. You want to collect every single game that came out for that console. Whereas if you're not a game collector like me who's into collecting video games, you have a set list, you have a wish list, you have just a few that you want to get. Like, honestly, we can double check right now. I can quickly... I will bring up a website that I do buy retro games off of called Lukey Games. I have my wish list on there, and I kind of update it frequently of games that I already have and games I want, things like that, right? I kind of keep up to date with it. So whether I buy the game off this website or I don't, whatever. So like right now, I have, if we're talking N64, I have 52 N64 games that I would like to eventually own. Now, some of these, I will go through and be like, I own this for a different console. Like, I own it for PC, or I own it for Xbox, I own it for this, so I'm not going to need it anymore. Some of these games, I do need to kind of, like, go through, like, for example, I'm just going to take it off as I realize there's one here. Like, Conker's Bad Fur Day for the N64 is right now $206. I have Live and Reloaded on the Xbox, which is the remake for it. You know, we can look back at some other games as well, and I'm going to kind of go through and be like, well, I don't need this game, I don't need that game, I don't want this game, things like that. Like, I'm looking, you know, like Conker was $200. That's the big problem, too, is a lot of these games are a little more, they're expensive. So trying to be, you know, this, sometimes it can suck having hobby like this, but you like I mean, like that, right? Like I have right now, you know, now I just updated the list, got rid of a few games on there. I now have, if we go to my wish list again, we look at it again, I have 50 N64 games that I want. Only 50. So instead of like the, how many N64 games are there? 388. I was wrong. There's 388 N64 games that were released, with 85 exclusive sold in Japan. So, I mean, I have a few Japanese games, I don't play them. This is kind of one of the big reasons why I got rid of my video game monthly thing. Many people were like, oh, it's just because of finances. I mean, there was that, but also the biggest thing was just I was getting a lot of games I didn't really care for or didn't want, or I was getting a lot of duplicates, and I don't want that. You know, I have a set list of I have the games that I want, or I have a wish list of the games that I want. And yes, I do prefer physical media, so like if, say, I have the game on PC, like say I got the game on Epic or whatever, and, you know, I got the game for free from the Epic store, but then, like, I go to, like, say, like, GameStop or something like that, and I see that game on, like, the console for, like, $40 or something, I'm gonna be like, maybe, because I'm not much of a PC gamer, but I'm trying to now interpret PC into my console collection, so if I own a game on PC, I'm not gonna try to own it for a console. Just because, like, I'm trying to expand my horizons, I guess you could say. But I'm not sitting here being like, you know, I have to own every game for the consoles. Like, for example, like, we can use Skyrim, for example, because I do own it on multiple consoles. I own Skyrim on PS4. I own it on Xbox One. I own it on, PS4, Xbox One. I own it on Steam. I own it on Xbox One. I own it on 360. I own it on PS3. Like, I own multiple copies of this game, and I don't need to own multiple copies of the game. So, and a lot of them too are like a lot of sports games, like older sports games. We're talking like I have like NHL 06. Well, I mean, last time I played NHL 06 was when I just had my original Xbox. So I mean, like, for instance, you know, this is like 2012, right? Like NHL 12 is out, but the only console I had at the time was an original Xbox. So I was playing a lot of NHL 06. So I mean, I guess that one kind of has like a little more sentiment, I guess you could say, to me. But like, yeah, a lot of like the older, at least the older like NHL games, like football and basketball games, they don't really have a whole lot. They don't hold up a lot with me. But I say is like the other day I was playing Tiger Woods. But like, for instance, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 07. That's golf. Golf hasn't changed over the years. Whereas NHL, like the games, the mechanics, the rules, all that stuff has updated over the years and updated rosters, stuff like that. Whereas, you know, with the Tiger Woods games, you play as your own character. Or even like, you know, like racing games, right? Like a lot of racing games, like kind of toyed with the idea of getting the older versions because they're all different. Or another thing too is, the air's telling me about treasure nearby. I wonder if it's in that blue square. I think it's that right there. Oh, I don't smash into it like I do in the Crew 2. I got some coins. Oh, and I got a gearbox. Okay, and I got some treasure. Oh, I unlocked some real wings. All right, nothing to do on the road. Sorry, cars. I'm back to what I was saying too, but like I also then have also discovered kind of like, I don't want to say niche, but like what I feel my favorite games are. Like, for, you know, like I said, for example, and I mentioned it in one of my vlog in a vlog I recently uploaded. Like my brother bought my PS4 off of me, something I never thought I would ever do. Like 2 years ago, you could tell me I'd sell a console. I think you're nuts and crazy, but here I am. I sold my PS4, but that's because my PS5 plays PS4 games, so I don't need the PS4 really anymore. And I can still play it on this other hardware. And even if I want to still use my PS4 controller, I can't use my PS4 controller on the PS5. So there is that. And all that stuff too. But that's still, like, whatever to me. And I even gave him a bunch of games too. Like, I gave him, like, for instance, like, the Order 1886. I never got around to playing it and don't think I ever will. I gave him a lot of Call of Duties because I don't really play the Call of Duties anymore. The only Call of Duty I have now is, technically I have one for the Wii. I have one for the Wii, and then the other one is I have Black Ops 4, because I actually do still play Black Ops 4 once in a while. I'm actually, I don't want to say a big fan of Black Ops 4, but it is my go-to COD lately, because I haven't just been a huge fan of the newer ones. And I mean, maybe if I still had like BO3, I'd dabble in a little bit. I mean, it is on PC as well. Like I own it for PC, so I can re-download it there, and if the PC servers are fixed, I can fix them or re-download it and play it on there. But I mean, I have other shooters to play too. Like there's Splitgate, there's Halo, there's, like, for instance, Iron Sight's a big one I've been playing, which is a free-to-play game that I'm gonna make a video on eventually one day, because it's basically what the COD community has always wanted is, you know, this basically the kind of game the Call of Duty community has always wanted is what Iron Sight is. But I don't know, it's become this thing now where, to me, I'm not a game collector. I used to want to be a game collector and collect all these video games, but now I'm just into collecting video games. A hobby of mine is collecting video games. Just like how some people, you know, their hobby or interest is like collecting Pokemon cards, or say hockey cards, or hockey jerseys, or coins, stamps, right? Like, you just become a collector, but you don't need to collect everything, every single game. I want to collect the games that I'm gonna actually play or make videos on, or things like that. Those are the kind of games that I want to get. I don't want to just buy a game for the sake of owning it, right? If that makes any sense. So I want to be able to, like, own a game that I know I'm gonna play over and over again, even if it, you know, we'll take like Need for Speed for example. Like, I beat Need for Speed Underground 1, but who knows, maybe like 2 years from now I'm gonna want to play through it again. I'm just gonna get that itch to play through it again. Those are the kind of games I want, that like even after I've beaten them, I'm still gonna want to go back and play them again. It also kind of dampens the backlog a little bit too, because it makes less games for me to want to play through, less games for me to want to beat. It gives me, you know, a little more leeway as to what I want, what I don't want, things like that. I'm gonna switch my... There we go. Okay. Yeah, I screwed myself over that one, but I don't know. It's just one of those things that game collecting. Like, if you're a game collector, I think, you know, it's freaking awesome. Like, I watch a lot of game collectors. One of them is like, you know, for example, is streamers named Proton John. I watch him. I watch Metal Jesus Rocks, who he's pretty good because he does a lot of hidden gems, which then introduces me to some other games that I'm like, oh, maybe I want to give that a try, right? But it's not the be all or end all or whatever. I cannot wait till I'm in my own place. But I don't know. To me, it's just I'm not winning this race at all. I'm not catching up to these guys. Do not when I'm doing things like this. It's the PS5 version too, and I'm not used to it yet because it uses haptic feedback. So the controls actually feel like they feel stiff, like you're actually slamming the brake pedal and stuff. And oh yeah, I forgot. It's the crew. I have NOS. I've been playing so much Gran Turismo and Forza that I'm like, oh yeah, right, you have nitrous oxide in this game. That would have given me the upper hand.
Wow, that's some pro driving here.
From me? Because no, it's not. This is not pro driving at all. I am not doing good. I am going to get third. There's no way in heck I'm ever catching up to... I might get second. There's no way I'm catching up to first. First has got a huge grasp on us. Yeah, see, I got second because that guy messed up, but there's no way I'm getting first. Nope. Coming down the final stretch. The first place guy has to do something like drastic, and I don't think he's gonna do that. So I used my NOS way too early. Not second. Second is what I'm getting. Oh well. But anyways, just to kind of move the screen here, just to conclude it all, I collect video games. I'm not a game collector. Hobby interest like of mine is collecting video games, as you can see behind me, but I'm not a game collector. I don't sit here going, this whole shelf has to be all Wii U games, this shelf has, like, I don't. When I move out, I'm currently in the process of getting my own place. When I get my own place, my office might have like 4 shelves, and those shelves will be games. And that'll be it. But I still collect games. There's not even a whole lot of even new games coming out that I want too. And I'm gonna make a video on that. Is like, is this current null for me in gaming a good thing or a bad thing? And honestly, right now, it's pretty much a good thing. Because yeah, there's So far, there's been 3 games this year that I wanted to play. Persona 3 Reload, which I've been playing through. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, which I'll eventually get to. And then Stellar Blade. And, like, those are the only 3 games. And no, not Stellar Blade for the physics, because it actually is a decent game. I played the demo. But, like right now, and even, like, the only other game is really Sword Art. So there's, like, 4 games this year that I'm like, I really want to play, but then that gives me time to get through all of these behind me. But, yeah, no, so at the end of it all, like, game collector, or game collecting, what do I am? What am I? Where do I stand on it? I collect video games. I'm not a video game collector. I would not put myself in that category. I put myself in the category of my hobby, interest is collecting video games. And also playing them. Because I like to play them. I like to make content. Like I said before, any game I collect, one day we'll have a video on it. Hopefully. Or even a Let's Play dedicated to it. Who knows? So, but anyways, that's going to do it for me in today's video. Thanks so much for watching. You guys are awesome. You're amazing. I love your feel. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.